Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another fun tutorial. This is another one that I was just thinking about, a basic kind of tag, and how could I make it more, what's the word I'm looking, multifunctional. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let me move this camera. I feel like it's really close today. So I've got a lot of supplies out, so we'll talk about these first because everything else is buried under. Got a ruler, obviously, for doing some measuring. I have my scissors, eyelet setter, if you're going to follow this exactly, some eyelets. I've got some of those AnnE of Green Gables quotes that we'll be using to embellish my vintage photo archival ink, corner rounder, Barely Arts white glue, my circle punch to do my divots, and my whale tail punch to do some whale tail tabs. So, and a pencil. So this is the project. So I, as you guys know, if you've been following me at all, I like things to be able to stay closed. So I often will do a belly band closure or something else. But in this case, I did a Velcro closure. So this opens like this, and we've got this just open writing space. Now, one could have made this into a book as well. I decided this was plenty because each of the sides of this holds 4 cards. So 2 cards here and 2 cards here. So that is a lot of journaling space for just this little bit. But I did want to show you because I was concerned after I did the prototype that I wouldn't have enough room on my page. But if you put this out here like this, it measures only 5 inches, and that's with the tabs sticking out. So, well, 5 1/4. 5 1/4. So it's just the right size for a page. So this would obviously probably be something you would paper clip in because you have no way to glue it down because it's a multifunctional piece. So let me show you the ephemera that's in here. I'm just going to fasten that again. So we've got 2 larger cards, 2 cards here. This one I'm using the Anne Shirley Junk Journal Kit. I will link it below if you're interested in it. It just provided me with a little bit more interesting images than I had in the Angela Kerr kits, which are phenomenal, but I just tend to think bigger than that when I make a journal. So, and then these are the 2 smaller cards that go up in this top pocket. So as you can see, one of them opens at the top and one opens at the side. Okay, but when you flip it over, you got the same thing, 2 cards here, 2 cards here. And then I just put my eyelet on the front side of this. And then we'll talk about all the details, all the closures and all of that in a minute when we get to the project. So I'm going to set that there. This is my template. So if you want to take a picture, I will also put this in the photos at the end of the video. So the tag size that I'm showing you is 4 1/2 inches wide by 7 inches tall. The large pocket is 4 1/4 by 5 3/4, and that is allowing already in that measurement a 1/4 inch gusset on 3 sides. So the large pocket is gusseted here, here, and here because it opens here. This one's gusseted here, here, and here, and the measurements for the smaller pocket is 4 by 4 1/4, and again, that measurement's already accounting for the gusset. So I thought it was, I never remember to do gussets because I just forget, and they do allow you more flexibility in terms of you don't feel like you're like ramming things into the pockets because you've got enough space there. And maybe I can show you what this looks like here if I take these cards out. So see the breadth of that? It's got room in there because we've got that little fold over that creates a gusset, a little bit more space inside of that pocket. So I love it, and I should be doing those more because they're very, very versatile. Okay, so that is the template. And then I don't want to cover that thing up in case I need to pull it down. And then this is the pieces individually, okay? Because we're going to use these to measure our paper and cut our paper. So I have 2 of these just because I wanted it for my my sample. because the white ones are my template. So this is 4 by 4 1/4, and then I put notes 1/4 inch on gusset on each side. So I thought we would use these to just measure our paper, and then the larger one 4 1/4 by 5 3/4, as I mentioned before, gusseted here, here, and here, depending on which way you're looking at that piece of paper. And then this is our tag base, so it's 4 1/2 by 7. Now, I just made a note here for my own future reference that this is all just open writing space. So I have printed my tea stain paper, or the tea stain paper, on the back of all these papers. I'm going to move my mouse. You guys probably laugh every time you see me do that, don't you? I also have some Velcro in case you want to do the Velcro closure. Now, you don't have to do a closure. I just am a little persnickety about that. It's just a personal preference for me, and I don't like things to flop open. So, I mean, things like that. So I have a mess of papers here because I did not cut anything down unless it was already downsized in terms of how I printed it. Because some of these images I printed 2 to a page, and this is a full sheet, but some of them are 2 to a page. So it looks like a lot, but it's just because I want to show you the cutting process as well. Still feel like my camera is too close to me. Maybe I'm just feeling claustrophobic today. It's a work day, so so these are our bases. So our tag, tag, large pocket, and then the smaller pockets here. I think I got a double of that. I got an extra thing there. I'm not sure what that is. We'll figure it out together. And then these are journal cards. We'll cut these down to size. And then these are also journal cards for when we get to that step. So we don't need these right now. We are going to go ahead and bring over these pieces. And I mean, you could use these as a template if you wanted to. I think I'm not going to for the sake of the video, but you could just put this on your paper and say, I just need to cut that, make pencil lines around it, boom, you're good to go. Then you would just do your score lines here, here, and here, and then you're golden. I'm not going to do that today because I feel like it's going to get me all tongue-tied because it's not how I normally do a tutorial, so I'm not going to do that. I apologize for changing my mind on that. So I'm just going to set these extra pieces aside. I feel like I've got stuff everywhere, and I don't want to set it in the wrong place and misplace or figure out what I'm doing. So I thought these would be fun as, this would be fun as the base, and this would be, or this is the base, and this is the pocket, the larger pocket. So we're going to go ahead and start with this. And this is letter size paper. Again, mine is always smaller because I have to cut off the white border. I don't have borderless printing. So mine always ends up being slightly smaller. Like this one is 10 3/4 by 8 1/4. So slightly smaller than what you might have if you have borderless paper, or if you're using a scrapbook paper or something. So I'm just folding that directly in half. Okay, so again, this is our tag base. So I'm going to bring the score tool over and open up my little magic arm here. And I'm going to start by cutting it down. And unfortunately, I hate this about the, I mean, I love the paper, but when you have to change the size, we're going to have to cut off that. I'd rather cut off both the top and the bottom than leave one or the other, I think. Maybe we'll leave the top because that would be fun at the top of the tag. So we're going to start with our width, which is 4 1/2. So I'm just going to line that up, and I'm just going to slop off that edge right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this as my top of the tag. And so this is going to measure 7 inches. So same thing, I'm just going to line that up to 7 and chop that off. Okay. And our tag there is ready. Now I do have a credit card. I don't know what I did with all my credit cards. This is the only one that's left. But you just want to pick a size that you like. So that one's a little bit smaller than this one. So I'm going to go with the larger one, and you just line that up. And then just trim that edge off, just like so. Okay, and then turn it over and do the other corner. You guys have probably seen this 100 times. Unless you're brand new, this is a great way to get even tag shapes on both sides without having to guess about it. Okay, so there's our tag shape, our tag base. Okay, so we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna do all of our cutting right now, and then we'll start inking and doing our, well, we'll probably do our scoring at the same time, but we'll do all of our inking in a moment. So this is going to be a large pocket. So it needs to be, why am I struggling with this? Oh my goodness. It's 5 3/4 inches wide. So I'm thinking I'm just going to leave that brown on there. I'm going to line it up at 5 3/4. Right? Yes. Just do it, Renee. 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. So let's just go down here and mark that, or cut that at 4 1/4, and do it. Oh, see, it's a different size. So we can actually get both of our front and back large pockets out of this one piece of paper. So I'm just going to pull this back over and do the same thing. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4, and then cut this 4 1/4. I'm like dying of heat, guys. It's 80 degrees here. And yet they're saying that we're supposed to have thunderstorms this afternoon. This is Wednesday afternoon, March the 26th. And it's crazy. Like yesterday was like 77 degrees. And then today was hit 80, over 80. Just like, oh. And then it's going to thunderstorm. And it's going to rain all spring break. Even at the beach. So those are our 2 large pockets, and those are the ones that are going to go like this. So they're going to gusset this way. So let's go ahead and do that, just so we don't break the pattern or the linear movements through this project. So before I do that, you want to decide which one you want to be the side that you're not going to thumb notch. So I like that brown. So I'm going to sandwich these together. I'm going to start with making a thumb notch. It helps to put both of your papers together because then you get them in exactly the same spot. I do not measure, I spy, and I'm usually pretty accurate, if I do say so myself. Okay, so there's that. So now we are going to gusset. So we're going to make a score line here, here, and here at 1/4 inch. This might be hard for you to see, but trust me. And then turn it. Do another score line on the long bottom edge, and turn it again and do another score line on the other edge. I'm going to do the same for this one. Okay, there we go. So those are ready. Let's go ahead, we'll just go ahead and do the folding here so you can see that part as well. So you will want a bone folder, which I did not grab. Grab one here. So we're going to just fold that in, give that a good burnish right there on that fold. Oh, we do have to cut our corners first, sorry. So I like to fold them a little bit so that I can really see that cross section, which I'll show you here in a second. So basically you should be seeing your score lines here and here. I can't hold it up any closer because it'll blur out because of the settings on my camera. So I'm just going to cut that corner just like that, and I turn it slightly just so that I get good coverage on that corner, and then you do the same with the other one. So just clip, turn it slightly, and clip again. So I'm going to do this one as well. There we go. Okay, so those are all gusseted up. I don't know if that's what you call it. I think it's a gusset. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know if there's a different name. Sometimes language is hard. Do you ever feel that? Okay, there we go. So again, a good burnish, all those edges, and we're just going to get it ready. We're not going to do anything else with this. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Sorry for the flipping and flopping here. Okay, there we go. So those 2 are ready. So now let's bring the trimmer back over. I have a reasonably sized desk, but My glass mat is not much bigger than your view there, so it gets a little bit tricky. Okay, so now we want our small pockets, which are the image we need. So this was going to be one of them, and this was going to be one of them. Okay, so this one's going to be tricky because I have to get her down to 4 by 4 1/4 without losing too much of the beauty. So I'm going to measure the actual image here. Oh, we should be fine. Actually, we can cut just beyond the words. So that's perfect. So I'm going to be careful though and not make decisions too quickly because you can't go back. You can't put the paper back on, as you know. So I'm just going to take that much off. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to go 4 1/4, and that was just about perfect, if I do say so myself. Okay, cut that edge off. And then the next thing you need to decide is what, well, obviously we want her to be the biggest, so let's see how tall that image is. So that is about 4 1/2. Okay, so we're going to lose a little bit of something there. So let me start with trimming up. I think I'm going to go right here and just stay above that line of words there. And then, so this was 4 inches, right? Did I do that right? No, I did 4 1/4. Oh yeah, 4 1/4 wide by 4 inches tall. I'm so sorry, guys. Yikesies. Oh, this is going to be hard. Really did not want to lose those purple flowers, but I have to. This was not the best image to use, but we're going to make it work. Okay, so I'm going to have to just cut off here. I really wanted to retain those flowers. That was why I picked this image. So again, we're going 4 inches, so I'm going to take off more off the top. So you could be a little bit more, you know, specific about what you choose. Oh, we still have the purple on the top though. I'm happy with that. So that is our first card, and this is our second one. Yep. So we're going to go 4 inches. And I know that I want the butterfly, so I'm going to go from this end. So again, it's 4 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches tall. So I'm going to put that in there. So again, you want to decide what part of the image you want to retain, because you have to choose. It would have been nice to have that flower though. That's really lovely, but that's okay. Got to get rid of these scraps. They're going to drive me bonkers. They're not going in the trash. They're just going out of my way. Okay, so now these ones, the gusseting is the same. We do want to do our thumb notch before. What did I do? Oh, shoot. Okay, well, they're just going to be different. So I did this one wrong. I did the measurements wrong. So it's not a big deal. There's not going to be anybody with a ruler measuring if your pockets are the same on either side. So the only tricky part is when we make the ephemera, I don't want to forget that. So, or the other option we have is just to cut this other one down to 4. I think I'm going to do that. Let's do that. Let's just keep it even Steven and not think about it too hard. So in this case, because I flubbed up, we are actually working with a piece that is 4 by 4. Okay, doesn't matter, does not matter at all. I just like to get as much landscape out of it as possible, so I need to take more off of this one. So let's take that 1/4 inch off this side. So sorry about that. That was a faux pas. Okay, there we go. Now we're even. Okay, so now I'm going to gusset these, and these are going to be a top loading pocket, so I'm going to keep this in mind. Oh, we want to do our thumb notches. Goodness gracious. Let's do those thumb notches first. So one of the biggest tips I would share with you guys is to just don't be too rigid about your plans. Like, be flexible. Like I was just there. Like, I could have been just frustrated and like, that was not what I was supposed to do. And now what am I going to do? I mean, some measurements matter a lot, but not everything does. Okay. So you can improvise and fix and salvage things pretty easily. Okay. I think I turned one of the papers wrong, and you might have even seen me do it, but it's okay. We're going to lose part of this flower. Oh, we're going to lose the flower on the bottom. That's okay. I really wanted that purple. I think that's one of my favorite colors in this collection. So there we go. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just fold the, well, we got to do our little corners. We do that really quick. For some reason, this one's got a darker tea stain. Sometimes I set it to best quality, but this one's pretty when it's lighter too, so I generally don't switch it to best, but I must have on something here, which is not a big deal. Those aren't going to show. I just don't like white in my journals at all. So, which is kind of funny because my entire studio is white. All the furniture is white. Everything is really crisp and clean and fresh. But I don't like it in my journals. So look at that pocket. Oh, I'm glad we were able. Oh, we've got a little purple flower here too. Oh, that makes me happy. We salvaged it, didn't we? So we just have 2 more days of half days. I am not, they have potential busy work for us to do to stay the whole day, but I'm not staying. I'm like, I'm too old for this. I'm just going to take the hit and leave at 11:30 when the kids leave. So I went and had a good walk, and then I went to the mall and had another good walk, and then I bought a new candle, and then I came home and I prepped a casserole for dinner, and here I am in the studio. Oh, those are so pretty. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, so where are our pieces that we just scored? What did you do with them? See what I mean? I do stuff and then I don't remember where I set them. It's because they're under my cutter. Okay, so now we're ready for some inking. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to ink all around both sides of this as well as the inside. I'm going to ink around all the pockets, and then I'll come back and we'll start assembling this. Okay, finishing up here. And then we'll make the ephemera as well. We'll get this assembled and then we'll make the ephemera. I do suggest that you use white glue because you get a smaller glue line, which in this case, because they're gusseted, is not as important, but I like the fast stick on this project, so I'm going to recommend that. So and I wanted my openings for my large pocket on the side to go where the tag actually opens. So just be aware of that. So, and I went up, if I recall correctly, let me grab the prototype so I can show you. I went up about 3/8 of an inch. It does not really matter. And then that one was up 1/2 of an inch. So 3/8 of an inch-ish. But I spy it. And then you want to be thinking, butt it up. Like, I think that with this stuff out, there's more. Let me just show you that. There's more on this side than this side. And that's what I wanted because of the pocket. So you can, of course, do what you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on by just applying that glue right on that flap. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to hold it over so I can get a good grip on where I want it. And I'm just going from memory as best I can. I don't have trouble keeping things straight. If you do, you could use your grid like this and see that everything looks nice and straight, and then just give that a good press. It probably wouldn't hurt to go ahead and just burnish that too. Give that glue a chance to really set well. Okay, looks like it might be a little bit crooked, is it? It's okay. Okay, and then our other pocket goes on the top of this one. Oh, that's a great compliment. I like the contrast here. This is a freebie from Angela Kerr's Facebook group. So this one is going to go up a little bit higher, but I don't want it too high to the top because we want stuff to stick out there. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. I just think it's so, I love the stacked pocket look. I think it's just very pleasing to look at, and I like the complements of the purple. I think that's really pretty. I probably would have done better, it would have gone better if I would have done something different here, but you can do it however you choose. Okay, actually I think the back side, the pocket is going, let me just look here. Nope, the pocket's on the other side, so it's flip-flopped. So see how the opening's here and the opening's here. Okay, so it's on the back side, or the other side, it's on the fold. So we're going to point that pocket onto the fold, which is right here. Okay, so it's going to go this way. Okay, let me do this really quick since you've already seen it once. You probably do want to make sure you don't get anything in the inside of this pocket, otherwise it'll defeat the purpose of your gusset. So I'm just going to finish this one up. I'm bringing it up about 1/2 inch from the bottom of the other pocket, and then I'm just bringing it out a little bit from that edge, like that. And in case you're new here, my studio motto is perfection is not at play in the studio. So if I look at this and I'm like, oh man, that wasn't straight, it is straight, but if it wasn't, I don't fret about it. I just move on and have fun. Okay, so there we go, boom. So let's do our closure while I'm thinking about it so I don't forget. So our closure is actually, I think that I measured, I thought I needed to make a correction to this template, but no, it's 1 inch, okay? So it is 1 inch. So I'm going to get a piece of paper, and I wonder what it would be like to use a bit of green in here. What do you think? I think so. Let's bring some contrast into this. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my trimmer and cut it down to 1 inch wide. And then I'll show you what is next. Except was that long enough? Yeah, it's fine. That's long enough. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, I know that I don't need to fuss with this end, so I'm going to go ahead and round the corners just because I like that look. It doesn't show, well, actually on my prototype or my sample, I didn't cut this down. I rounded the edges on both, and then I ended up having square corners on the other one. I like them rounded. On this side, it's not going to show. So what you want to do is kind of stick this in here generally where you want it. I think that green is a nice complement. Okay, we're going to go about there. So I didn't even need to round that, honestly, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to, just like you've seen me do on other belly band projects, you want to fold this over, but leave a little bit of room for growth, okay? So I'm just going to kind of give that a soft pinch, okay? And then go ahead and make sure it's nice and even, okay? Like that. And then that way I know that I can cut this off here, okay? I can cut it off there, and then I can round the other edges. Well, actually, we can just turn this around and do it this way since we've already got that rounded. Let me ink this up. You could do other kinds of closures. You could do a magnet if you wanted to. I am not in the mood for magnets right now, but you totally could do that. So then you want to make sure it's on the side that's opening. So I would have done that wrong. So this is the opening. So we want this to kind of stick in that little thumb notch. It doesn't get in the way of anything going in the pocket, but I do need to ink this edge so I can see where it's landing in my space. Okay. So I know how far to put that in there. Okay. So I want it about there. Okay. So I'm going to put some glue on here. You don't have to cover the whole thing. I'm just going to do about that much. Okay. And then we're going to kind of pry this open a little bit, if I can get a hold of it. And I'm just going to put it down, and I'll have time to move it, okay? You don't have as much time with white glue as you do with the art glitter or Barely Arts. Oh, Fabri-Tac. I'm always doing that. Okay, so I'm just buttoning that up until I get it. It's probably about 1/8 of an inch. If you see that, from this edge here to that inked line is about 1/8 of an inch. So there it is. So I'm just making sure that that's straight. I'm gonna put this down here and see if it looks good. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so now I should have inked the other side here, because that will get opened. Not a big deal. And then I like to leave that much because I don't like my Velcro dots to be all poofy and on the edge. They look bad. So I learned that for this process, it's better to use the soft side first. So I'm using 2 just to have it hold. And I don't care that it's closer to the edge there, but I don't want it close to the top. That's my main goal here. And I'm going to put another one here. You could probably do with 1, but it's going to be open and closed a lot. So I thought I would play it safe. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and do the sticky side up. The sticky side is sticking to my finger, and just place that down like that. And then another one like that. And then I like to use a little bit of glue just to give it its best chance of success and adherence. Okay, just put some glue on there. Boom. Okay, and then we're going to close her up right over that top of that pocket. Okay, and I'm just going to hold it here for a sec. I like that I brought that green in. I think that this would have been better off in green. I would suggest you get something contrasting or something different. It's not the same tone, but that's okay. I was doing this last night after work and I was a little bit tired, so there we go. So now we can work on all of our little bits that are going to go in the pockets. So now this pocket ended up being shorter, which is not as big of a deal as other things, but I think I'd like to start with the larger pockets first. So let me just set that there, and I want to cut out of this. This is another one that's in her freebies on the in the group, but I love this so much. So we need to decide on, I did not give you measurements for the cards. We can figure that out together. I think I want to use the center one actually. So I'm just going to do it the lazy way. I'm not measuring. I'm just going to make a mark here and a mark over here. And you're able, because of that gusset, you're able to use up more of your pocket space than you would if you didn't gusset it. So I'm just going to chop these edges off so that we can keep working. Like so. So that is the right width. And then let's, our height is going to be off. I think I'm going to cut some of that bottom off. And then we can have it sticking out of that pocket a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and go about right here. I'm going to be lopping off some of that greenery, but that's all right. And then we can do our other one and use this as a template. Okay, so we've got that one. So our other one would be this small card, which looks like it's about the right width. It's just slightly off. I wonder if that will still fit if I have to cut it. Nope, it needs to be trimmed down. So I'm going to take off just a hair's breadth, as Angela says. Not very, actually it's more than a hair's breadth. It's about 1/8 of an inch that I'm taking off there. And because I want to make sure that it fits nicely in there without any struggle. We should probably check this one, huh? Come on, yeah, perfect. Okay, so we can cut this one down. So I'm going to cut a little bit off of the bottom. Get rid of a little bit of that grass, that's okay. And then you can just do the cheat way and go like this and just use your scissors or stick it in your trimmer, but this is what I'm going to do. So that is 2 cards. And because we need to make 2 for each pocket front and back, we need 4 that are this size. So I'm going to just continue on. I think we have this one and this, just the solid. Oh, this is the green paper. Did have that planned for a card anyway. So let's just do this. I'm just going to use my scissors and do it the easy way, easy peasy. Okay, so that's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we lost all those beautiful flowers on that card. It's okay. And then one more. So I want to try not to lose her because I think she is the star of the show. Our Anne with an E. So I'm just going to turn that over, and you could, again, I'm being repetitive, but you could totally put this in your trimmer. But I'm not gonna, because I'm feeling lazy. I'm 12 pounds from meeting my 40 pounds by 60 goal. So I turned 60 on May 10th, and I had a goal to lose 40 pounds. I've lost 28, so I have 12 more pounds to lose in 40 something days. So I gotta get in gear. So I've upped my game for my activity. I was sick for so long that I was not able to do my normal routines and stuff. So those are ready. So I'm going to set those aside, and we'll do some more stuff together with them. But now we need our large ones. So what do we have over here? So these ones are not going to, these were going to be, oh no, I did that wrong. Okay. It is okay. I just have pattern paper for these cards. Maybe we could do one of these on each side because it's big enough. So this is not a split image. This is a 8.5 by 11 image. So I'm just going to line it up to that pocket and then just make a line here. And oh, we're not going to lose too much of that flower. And I'm just going to cut it straight across because we're going to use both pieces. One for each side, like so. And then it needs to be, oh, what did I just do? Oh, it can go in this way. Is that what I was doing? What did I do? I must have been looking at the other thing because that's way too small. Shoot. Okay, well, we'll go this way. I turned it the wrong way. Tell you guys, directions are not my cup of tea. I bought myself an AirTag, an Apple AirTag. You know, have you ever heard of those? I hadn't because I never had an Apple phone. But now I can find my car if I lose it. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm just going to make it the height of the pocket because we're going to put a whale tail punch on it. There we go. So that's one card. So now we need 3 more this size. So those are going to be too small, which is a bummer. I think I wanted to use one of the purple striped for a card, or maybe, yeah, we'll use the purple striped. So let's just do this. I'm just going to set it in the trimmer. Boom. Easy as pie. Anyway, so my husband and I got it yesterday from Amazon, and my husband was joking with me. We were joking with each other about how we're going to use it when we get old, and he's going to use it to track if I've left the yard when I start losing my mind. I'm like, that's not very nice. And so it's good. If you guys missed it, he is actually retiring early. He'll go and find another job to do something that's a little bit less stressful, but he's retiring from his main job that takes care of our family. And so, but he has been so incredibly happy and able to be lighthearted and joke, and I just think it's awesome. Okay, so now we need one more. Oh, I think I was going to use one of these. Yeah, I was going to use one of these. I don't care that it's cut off, that we're only getting part of the image. It's a collaged piece. Oh, look at that. It's the right size. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, so Now, as you saw on my prototype, I didn't put seam binding and eyelets on all of them, only on the 2 large side pockets, and then we did 1 here, but we did 4 whale tail tabs, so we need 8 altogether. So I'm going to punch those really quick just out of these scraps, and I'll be right back. Not these scraps. These are not the scraps, Renee. These are the cards. These are the scraps, so I will be back. Okay, so I've got 8 altogether. So I've got 4 of the purple toned that from that large collage sheet, and then 2 of this image, and then 2 of the green. So I like my stuff rounded, so I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to round the corners on all 8 of these cards, and I'm going to ink everything, round and ink, and I'll be right back. Okay, whew, that was a lot of inking. I'm going to do, we're going to glue the whale tail tabs on. I'm not going to do the eyelets on camera. You saw on the prototype what I ended up doing with those. So I'm just going to save time because I want us to put a word or a quote on these as well. So let's go ahead and so what I did, I don't know if you guys noticed on here, when I attach those whale tail tabs, I do like that, so they're not stacked on top of each other, because otherwise it adds to the bulk when that happens. So this is a one that goes in here, so let's make sure everything fits. I should have checked. Oh, why do we have stickage there? There. Everything should be fine. Okay, beautiful. Okay. So we're going to put a whale tail tag here on this tab here, and then lower on the other one. So let's go ahead and use contrasty things here. Usually I like to use my Fabri-Tac for attaching these, but I've gotten pretty good at it in this project, so we're just gonna go for it. Sorry, I was off screen there. So I'm just gonna speed this up. I'm gonna put a bunch of these on, and then I'll lay them out so you can see how we staggered them. Okay, got all of our tabs on. This one looks kind of weird on this paper, but we're gonna go with it. I just thought I'd swap them out and make them be a little bit more contrasty. So there we go. Those are all of our journal cards rather. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick them in the pockets and see what we think. So I want this one to be on the bottom. It doesn't matter which side they go in, because everything's, look at that. Oh, so these ones on the side pockets will have whale tail, not whale tail. They'll have seam binding and eyelets. Okay, so those just stick out like that. Oh, so pretty. So pretty, pretty, pretty. Put this one down first. This one in, and those just slide in there beautifully as well. I like them to stick out just a little bit, like so that you kind of get that, again, you get that layered effect visually. You see those layers. And then we've got our cards. So which one do we want? I think I wanted this one over here. Or no, I didn't. I think I want this one in the front, this pocket, and this one behind it. So see how those fit in there just so nice. I struggle a lot with getting journal cards in my pockets when I'm done, and this just worked like a dream, just like a dream. So that, I love that staggered look there too. Really pretty. And then this one will go behind. Let's just go stick it in, and we're just going to put a couple quotes on here, and then we'll be done. Okay. I'll fuss with those, get them how I want them. I don't want to mess too much because the glue is not quite set. So last step is our little quotes. So let's see what we've got here. It's been my experience that you can nearly always enjoy things if you make up your mind firmly that you will. I like that. Oh, I love it. I'll read it to you. I didn't read these. These are those from that different seller, Anne of Green Gables quotes. Which would you rather be if you had the choice? Divinely beautiful or dazzling clever or angelically good? I love it. Let me just round the corners on these really quick. I'm just going to give a gentle, small rounding. I'm not going to put any lace on these or anything. We're just going to put them down. I liked that, the aesthetic of it. I thought it was just really simple and not too busy and worked out just fine. I'm going to ink that up like so. And we will be done. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I apologize. I can feel like my back because I'm working out again, and so my back is a little bit sore. So on those sped up parts, my apologies. I wasn't paying attention to the camera and I found myself kind of sitting back a little bit. So I think I want this taller one on this side, and you can decide where you want to position it. It's totally up to you. I just like to try not to cover up any image that I love, or part of the image that I love. So we're just going to plop that one right there. Plop, plop. And we'll put this one, I think right there. We can still see her cup. So thank you guys for stopping by. I really, really appreciate your support. I will be back soon, probably next week when spring break starts, and I can focus on getting a couple videos up to talk about the giveaway for the 6,000 subscriber giveaway, which we're already at 6,100, over 6,100. I think 6,112 or something. So I do have to let you know the qualifications for that whole thing. There will be a grand prize, which will be the boho journal, and then there will be other prizes as well for second and third place. And then I'm going to give away the dressing room the beginner journal series journal. So I will do a video on, I'll probably do those separate so that people don't get confused, but that'll be coming up next week. Maybe I'll be able to film them before I leave. I'm not sure. I'm kind of crunched for time at the moment. I will also put an eyelet, as I mentioned, in the front. This is the front of the, oh, I guess it doesn't really matter which way it opens. See, this one opens this way. So I don't know which way I'll put it. Doesn't really matter. It's a floating piece. So that is what we did, guys. I thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.